Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. We live in a world brimming with distractions. People are always watching, always commenting, and often comparing social media opinions of others, and the race for validation have created a constant noise around us. But here's the truth: the only person you can truly control, the only life you are accountable for, is your own. Today I want to speak about the power, the discipline, and the liberation that comes when you focus only on yourself. Not in selfishness, but in purpose. Not in isolation, but in growth. Each one of us is on a journey, a path that is uniquely our own. It's easy to forget this in a world that constantly compares us to others. We often look around and see people who seem to have it all together, who are further along in their careers, their relationships, or their personal growth. And in these moments, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to them. But I want you to pause and truly think about this. Your journey is yours and yours alone. It may look different from someone else's, and that's okay. It's not supposed to be the same. Each of us carries our own burdens, faces our own challenges, and walks through life with a unique set of experiences that shape who we are. The things we've overcome, the decisions we've made, and the dreams we've chased, all of these things are part of our individual paths. And in the midst of this, it's important to remember that we are not called to walk anyone else's journey but our own. When we look at others, we often see the finished product, the success, the confidence, the achievements. But we don't always see the struggles, the doubts, and the setbacks that were part of their story. We don't see the countless hours of hard work, the sacrifices made, or the personal battles fought in silence. What we see is the culmination, the final chapter, but we don't see the messy middle. That's why comparing ourselves to others is so dangerous. We are only seeing a small snapshot of someone else's life, not the full picture. The comparison game is not only unfair, but it also robs us of our own peace and progress. Instead of comparing yourself to someone else, focus on your own journey, where you are now and where you're going. Focus on progress, not perfection. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that we need to be perfect, that we need to have everything figured out. But that's simply not realistic, and it's not required for growth. Perfection is an illusion. It's a moving target. Progress, however, is something tangible. It's something we can measure every day. Ask yourself, what have I learned today? How have I grown this week? These questions help us stay focused on the journey we are on and prevent us from getting lost in someone else's story. Perfection will always be just out of reach, but progress, no matter how small, is always within our grasp. Every step forward, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is a step toward becoming the person you are meant to be. Don't get caught up in the idea that you should be further along by now, or that your progress should look like someone else's. The only comparison worth making is with the person you were yesterday. Are you doing better today than you were yesterday? Are you taking steps toward the person you want to become? If the answer is yes, then you're on the right path. Your journey is not about racing to the finish line. It's about the moments of growth, the lessons learned along the way, and the strength you gain as you overcome each obstacle. Your journey is yours to define, and no one else can walk it for you. So don't waste time trying to walk someone else's path or measuring your success against theirs. Instead, focus on your own progress. Celebrate the small victories, recognize how far you've come, and give yourself credit for the hard work you've put in. Your journey is worth every step, every challenge, and every triumph along the way. Remember, you are not behind, you are exactly where you need to be. And with each passing day, you are becoming more of who you were always meant to be. So embrace your unique path and keep moving forward with confidence. In life, we are constantly surrounded by the opinions of others, whether it's from family, friends, colleagues, or even strangers. Every day we are bombarded with messages, judgments, and expectations about who we should be, how we should act, and what we should strive for. It's easy to get lost in this sea of voices, each pulling us in a different direction, each telling us who we are or who we should become. But here's the truth that we often forget: other people's opinions do not define us. People will always have something to say. Whether they express their thoughts through words, gestures, or even silent disapproval, there will always be those who offer their advice, their criticisms, or their unsolicited judgments. And while this is a natural part of human interaction, it's also something that can easily weigh us down if we allow it to. The opinions of others can be loud, persistent, and often contradictory. One person may tell you to take a risk while another advises caution. One may encourage you to chase your dreams while another questions whether your ambitions are realistic. But amidst all of this noise, you must remember the only opinion that truly matters is your own. Focusing on yourself means being clear about what you want, what you believe, and what you value. It means standing firm in your own convictions and not allowing the voices of others to dictate your path. When you understand what truly matters to you, when you are grounded in your own vision and purpose, you can tune out the distractions that come from external judgment. Others may not understand your choices, your dreams, or your journey, but that's not your concern. Your path is yours to walk, and no one else can walk it for you. It's important to recognize that people's opinions are often shaped by their own fears, experiences, and biases. They see the world through their own lens, and their advice, however well-intentioned, is based on their own understanding of reality. But that doesn't mean their perspective should be your guiding force. In fact, if you listen too closely to the opinions of others, you risk losing sight of who you truly are and what you are truly capable of achieving. At some point in your journey, you will have to make a choice. Do you let the opinions of others determine your worth and your direction, or do you stand firm in your own sense of self? The latter requires strength and courage. It requires a deep understanding of your values, your dreams, and your potential. It means choosing to trust yourself even when the world tells you otherwise. It's about being unapologetically true to who you are, even when others don't understand or support you. We often think that the approval of others is what will make us feel validated or successful, but in reality, true fulfillment comes from within. It comes from knowing that you are on the right path for you, that you are living in alignment with your values, and that you are pursuing the things that bring you joy, meaning, and purpose. No amount of external praise can replace the satisfaction that comes from living a life that is authentic to who you are. When you stop allowing others' opinions to shape your story, you gain a sense of freedom that is empowering. You no longer feel bound by the weight of expectations that were never yours to carry. Instead, you can move forward with confidence, knowing that you are in control of your own narrative. You are the author of your story, and no one else has the power to write it for you. So the next time someone offers you an opinion that doesn't align with your truth, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, does this judgment serve me? Does this opinion align with my values and my purpose? If the answer is no, let it go. Do not let their opinions write your story. You are the one who knows what is best for your life. Trust yourself, silence the noise, and keep moving forward with courage and clarity. Remember, the opinions of others will come and go, but your worth and your destination are yours to define. Stay true to yourself and let that be the only opinion that matters.
To truly focus on yourself means to invest in your growth, not in the endless cycle of self-criticism. Many of us have fallen into the trap of constantly judging ourselves, finding fault in every misstep and measuring our worth by our perceived failures. We dwell on the mistakes we've made and the progress we haven't yet achieved, thinking that this kind of self-criticism will drive us to be better. But in reality, it only keeps us stuck, trapped in a cycle of negativity that prevents us from recognizing our true potential. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean dwelling on your flaws. It means acknowledging your potential. It's about recognizing the person you have the ability to become, not just the person you are today. Often we see ourselves through the lens of our weaknesses or shortcomings, but that's not the full picture. We are more than our mistakes, more than our current circumstances, and certainly more than the limiting beliefs we've been conditioned to accept. When you shift your focus from self-criticism to self-growth, you open up the space for real transformation. Taking the time to reflect on your life and your journey is essential for growth. Self-reflection is a powerful tool that helps you assess whether you're truly moving closer to the person you aspire to be. It's not about asking, "Am I perfect yet?" or "Am I as successful as I want to be?" but rather, "Am I becoming the person I want to become? Am I taking the steps, even small ones, to get there?" These questions should guide your growth, not the weight of self-doubt. When you focus on progress, you begin to see the strides you've made. Even if those strides are small, they are still forward movement. Every step, every lesson learned, every challenge faced brings you closer to your goals. If you realize that you are not yet where you want to be, don't berate yourselves. Instead, adjust the sails and keep going. The journey toward becoming the best version of yourself is a process that requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to adapt. The road to growth is rarely straight, and it's rarely easy. In fact, growth often requires discomfort. We must be willing to step outside of our comfort zones, face our fears, and push through moments of self-doubt. It's in these moments of discomfort that we experience the most profound transformations. Challenges are inevitable in life, but every challenge you face shapes you into something stronger, wiser, and more capable. It's these challenges that test your limits and expand them. They are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones. Self-criticism, on the other hand, keeps you stuck in a fixed mindset, convinced that your flaws define you. It makes you afraid of failure because failure feels like a confirmation of your inadequacies. But growth doesn't happen in a perfect environment. It happens when you take risks, make mistakes, and learn from them. When you fail, it doesn't mean you are a failure. It means you are trying, and that is the only way to truly grow. The key is to embrace failure as part of the process, as uncomfortable as it may be. Don't let the fear of failure prevent you from moving forward. Understand that each challenge you face is an opportunity to grow. When you focus on investing in your growth, you begin to see every experience as a lesson. You are no longer bound by the narrative that your mistakes define you. Instead, you see them as opportunities to learn and become better. You acknowledge that you are a work in progress, and that's exactly how it should be. Your worth is not determined by your failures, but by your willingness to grow through them. Let's think about the financial consequences of this. In addition to the true loss of your clientele, what else in your finances have you lost? Have you bought more property? Remember, growth is not about reaching a place of perfection. It's about continuously becoming the best version of yourself. It's about learning to trust your potential and investing in the person you are becoming. As long as you are taking steps forward, no matter how small, you are on the right path. Embrace the discomfort, the challenges, and the discomfort of growth. They are not signs of defeat. They are evidence that you are becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable with every passing day. End of exercise. So stop focusing on what you haven't done yet, or what you think you should have accomplished by now. Instead, shift your focus to the journey ahead and the growth that is already happening within you. Keep moving forward, keep reflecting, and keep investing in yourself. You have the potential to become the person you aspire to be, And every challenge you face is only making you more equipped to get there. We live in a world that constantly demands our attention. There are always new opportunities, new projects, new social events, and endless tasks vying for our time. It can feel as though we must say yes to everything in order to be helpful, productive, or successful. But the truth is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you continue to give without considering your own needs, you will eventually find yourself depleted, drained, and unable to serve others in the way you truly want to. Learning to say no is not just a skill, it's a necessity for your well-being and your growth. The act of saying no can feel uncomfortable at first. We worry about letting others down, disappointing them, or seeming unkind. We fear that by declining, we might be perceived as selfish or unwilling to help. But saying no does not make you selfish. In fact, it is often an act of self-care, self-preservation, and even self-respect. When you say no to something that drains your energy or takes you away from your purpose, you are making space for the things that truly matter to you. You must first recognize that your time and energy are precious. Every time you say yes to something, you are giving away a piece of yourself. And while it's important to help others and contribute to the world around you, it's equally important to ensure that your own needs are met. You cannot give your best if you are running on empty. When you say yes to things that don't align with your values, your purpose, or your long-term goals, you risk spreading yourself too thin, which ultimately hinders your ability to make a meaningful impact. This is where learning to say no becomes an art. It's not about rejecting everything or becoming closed off to others. It's about discerning what is truly worth your time and energy. Saying no allows you to protect your peace and ensures that you can give your best when it really matters. It means setting boundaries that honor your values, your well-being, and your purpose. Saying no is a way of saying yes to the things that align with your life's mission, your growth, and your happiness. When you learn to say no, you begin to realize that you are not obligated to please everyone. It is natural to want to be liked, to want to fit in, and to want to be helpful. But constantly saying yes out of a sense of obligation or fear of disappointing others can lead to resentment and burnout. You may find yourself agreeing to things that don't excite you or that don't align with your long-term goals, simply because you are afraid of the consequences of saying no. The more you practice saying no, the more you will realize that it is not a rejection of the person or the request. It is a commitment to yourself. Saying no to others sometimes means saying yes to yourself. And this is a powerful act of self-love and self-respect. When you say no, you make room for the things that nourish your soul, recharge your energy, and align with your purpose. Whether it's spending time with your family, pursuing a personal project, or simply resting, saying no allows you to focus on what truly matters. And here's the truth. Those who truly respect you will understand. People who value you will appreciate that you are setting boundaries and taking care of yourself. While there may be moments of disappointment or confusion, those who truly care will ultimately respect your need for balance and self-care. The world will continue to spin and life will move forward, whether you say yes to every request or not. But if you don't learn to say no, you risk losing yourself in the process. When you learn to say no, you not only protect your own well-being, but you also allow yourself to show up more fully for the things and people that matter most. By protecting your time and energy, you create space for the things that align with your purpose, and you become more intentional about how you invest your resources. And in the long run, This not only serves you, it also serves others, because when you are aligned with your purpose and your energy is replenished, you can offer your best self to the world. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed or stretched too thin, remember, saying no is not selfish. It's necessary. It's a form of self-respect and self-care that will allow you to live a more focused, fulfilling life. Saying no is not about rejecting others. It's about saying yes to your own needs, your own peace, and your own purpose. And that, my friends, is the most important yes you can say. Life can often feel overwhelming. We encounter unexpected challenges, face setbacks, and experience moments where everything seems out of our control. We look around and it feels as though we are at the mercy of circumstances, other people's actions, or the unpredictable nature of the world. But here's an essential truth. There is much in life that we can, and the choice is our own. And we better be careful that we do. We cannot control the weather, other people's behavior, or the twists and turns that life may throw our way. The world is full of uncertainty, and trying to control everything around us only leads to frustration and anxiety. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that our happiness and success depend on controlling external factors. But the key to moving forward in life lies in recognizing and embracing the power we have over the one thing we can always control: ourselves. We cannot control how others behave, what decisions they make, or how they respond to us. People will disappoint us, situations will challenge us, and life will throw curveballs. But we can control our attitude. How we choose to respond to the circumstances in front of us is entirely within our power. When we shift our focus from external factors to our own mindset, we free ourselves from the frustration of trying to control the uncontrollable. Your attitude is one of the most powerful tools you have. It can either empower you or drain you, depending on how you choose to use it. When you approach life with a positive, proactive mindset, you take back control of your own experience. Challenges become opportunities for growth. Setbacks become lessons, and difficulties become temporary hurdles to overcome. A positive attitude does not mean ignoring reality or pretending that everything is easy. It simply means choosing to see the possibilities in every situation. It means deciding that you will not be defeated by circumstances, but instead will respond with strength, determination, and resilience. In addition to attitude, another area you can control is your effort. Life may not always go as planned, but you can always choose to give your best. No matter what obstacles or challenges stand in your way, your effort is within your control. Whether you're facing a tough day at work, dealing with personal struggles, or navigating unexpected setbacks, you always have the choice to keep putting in the effort. Your effort is the one thing that no one can take away from you. It is a reflection of your commitment to yourself and your goals. When we focus on the things we can change, it becomes easier to make progress. Progress is not always about achieving grand results overnight. It's about taking consistent, deliberate steps toward the future you want. By focusing on your attitude and your effort, you begin to create momentum. Small, steady actions accumulate over time, and before you know it, you'll be moving forward, sometimes in ways you didn't expect. Another powerful element you can control is your perspective. How you see the world directly affects how you experience it. When things aren't going well, it's easy to fall into a negative mindset, to feel like everything is out of your control. But by shifting your perspective, you can find peace and clarity, even in the midst of chaos. Instead of focusing on what's going right, however small that may seem, change your focus from problems to solutions, from obstacles to opportunities, and from fear to faith in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. When you focus on what you can control, life becomes much less overwhelming. The burden of trying to manage the entire world and everyone around you lifts, and you can direct your energy toward things that truly matter. This shift in focus allows you to make progress, no matter the circumstances. You begin to realize that even in the face of difficulty, you have the power to create positive change in your own life. It's not always easy to focus on what we can control. Our instinct is often to react to everything around us, to try to fix what's broken or to change others' behavior. But when you redirect your attention to your own thoughts, actions, and responses, you'll find that you are far more empowered than you ever realized. You begin to realize that progress is not about controlling the world, it's about mastering yourself. So the next time life feels overwhelming, remember this. Focus on what you can control: your attitude, your effort, and your perspective. These are the building blocks of progress. By focusing on what's within your reach, you create a life that is not dictated by the uncontrollable forces around you, but shaped by the choices you make each and every day.